from Leviathan Financial Management, talking to you from the CME trading floor. Bear with me 1 second. Can I get longs, please? Well, let's look at what is going on around the world. I know we've just missed the open, so as you know, S&P is pretty much unchanged. The yield curve is slightly higher in yield, but pretty much unchanged. As I would say, we await the major news of the month, which would have been the non-farm payrolls. However, because of the government shutdown, it's not coming out tomorrow. We're not entirely sure when we're going to see it again. Bear with me 1 second. What was the last one? So what we're actually going to talk about today, and I'll show you in 1 second. Is this here? This is the SOFR market. SOFR market is the short-term interest rate future, which indicates what the future path of rates are going to be. And at the moment, we are pricing in 2 cuts by the end of the year. And the big bet that was placed today by some house that just invested something like, if you bear with me 1 second while I work it out, like $1 million bet that we only have one more hike this year, which is a bit aggressive. And it's also bearing in mind how SOFR is calculated, they're basically betting on one more hike and kind of done, at least for the following 3 months, which I think is a bit aggressive given what's going on out there. I don't particularly like that trade, but so let's actually have a look at what I was trying to show you. So this is a SOFR chart. It does look like the possibility. Oh gosh, we're at a. And all of a sudden, we are actually working at the same time. Anyway, yes. So the bet has been placed that we will not. We will only have one more hike cut. Sorry, this year. Yeah, I'm not overly convinced that that's going to happen, but given also the ADP number that came out, this is the only way we're going to get indications of the labour market at the moment. I got the feeling that this shutdown may go on for a bit longer than previous ones. We've had some for hang on. Anyway, yeah, so let's have a look at some of the other trades. One of the things I also wanted to show you today, because obviously with this, with the lack of economic releases, is Tesla. We did run a scenario where it does look like it's heading to the $500 area by the end of the year. And there were some reasonably good trades, surprisingly. And I quite like this one. This is a Cool Condor, which basically covers the area up to 515. You're in a $1.50-ish, $1.45 really after costs. I think this is a lovely little bet for more than 3 times your money, if that is the way you're inclined. I can definitely, this is a heat map of the trade. So you can see it's not going to, this is more of a trade that will work over time. You will get a small profit if we rally up to it immediately. But you can see here, this is where it starts to really kick in. You know, if you're anywhere above the 475 area, you're golden. Now, for the most part, people do not run these trades all the way to expiration. That's not what we look at. We look at a realistic scenario, because at the end of the day, if you're paying like 1.5 for this thing and you run it with, you know, to whatever this area here, which will be, you know, looking at like, you know, where you're making 3 to 4 times your money, why would you not get out? It's always, you may make more, but we're in the business of making money, not having swings for the fences. So I like this trade and running it all the way. It's also, this is what we call a look back, which is effectively telling you where that trade sits relative to where it's been before. And, you know, it has been more expensive, but I think this is it's a good entry point. It's been the average here. So you're right at the average relative value of that trade. So, yep, we like that one, if that is the way you're inclined. If you have any views of any stock performance or direction and you'd like us to run a scenario for you, go ahead, DM me, and we will put it out in the show in the morning tomorrow. So, looking at, let's go back to SOFA again. Yeah, I'm afraid there's not too much else I can think to mention on that front. The where are we? So, I mean, the shutdown is going to be a boost for gold and should send the dollar lower. And I can see this, as I said, carrying on for a longer period of time, even though this could imply further rate cuts. It doesn't seem to be priced in yet. So, yeah, there you go. We'll keep an eye on the markets. If there's anything interesting to say, we'll buzz in and we will, hit you up then. Anyway, this is Darren from Leviathan. As I always say, better be lucky than be good. So good luck trading, y'all.